I know that this is a super long video and I am sorry for that, but if you only watch one of my videos all the way through, every single second of it, every single minute, I encourage you to watch this one all the way through. The things in this video are extremely important and possibly life-saving for you and other people on the road. I cannot stress how important these things are and these issues that I have found. So please, please, please stay tuned all the way to the end of this video and just push through. Thank you so much for watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to Sarah J. Awesome. I've been putting this video off because I wanted it to be awesome and amazing and perfect and look really cool. But at this point, I've had 14 people buy Teslas using my referral code, which first off, if you've done that, I love you so much. Thank you. However, the fact that 14 people have bought Teslas with my referral code makes me feel like I am responsible for telling them the most important things about this car that could affect your safety. In this video, I am talking about the autopilot that comes free with the car. It is not full self-driving. I do use autopilot about 70 miles a day, maybe more. These are things that I found in the first 13,000 miles of driving my car that I find to be the absolute most dangerous and deadly things when it comes to autopilot. Now, autopilot is amazing. Autopilot can save your life, but autopilot can also put your life at risk if you don't use it properly. I found out all of these problems on my own by accident, and some of them could have killed me already. Okay, so let's get right into it. When can you engage autopilot? Can you engage while you're accelerating? Yes. Can you engage autopilot while you are braking? Also yes. Can you engage autopilot in the rain and going through turns? Can you engage it mid-turn on the freeway? Yes, you can. It won't have any problems with that. The biggest problem that I have found is if you are parallel to another vehicle. Do not engage autopilot, and I will explain why. Let's say I'm driving and there is a car on my right. I typically hug the left side of my lane. I'm typically not driving right in the middle lane. I'm hugging the left side as far away from that car as I can. I didn't even realize I did this until I started using autopilot. We don't even think about doing it. It's just our brain is like, hey, stay away from that car. Excuse my drawing, guys. I'm in my lane right here, and there's a car right here. Because there's a car here, I'm going to be hugging the left side of my lane. I'm a little bit closer to this line over here. So if I engage autopilot, the first thing that your car is going to do is find the middle of your lane. And it's going to find it very quickly. I'm not talking about jerking you, but it's going to quickly veer into the middle of that lane. It wants to be perfectly centered between these dotted lines. So if this person's here and they're hugging this side of the lane, or if they're just here in the middle of their lane or whatever, and out of the corner of their eye, all of a sudden at 75 miles per hour, they see your car veering quickly like this to find the middle of your lane, they're going to be like, holy crap, that car is coming over. I see it out of my peripheral vision. This Tesla is about to run into me. It's not. Your car is not going to run into them, but it's going to scare the crap out of you because your car is going to start veering towards them. It's going to scare the crap out of the other person. So let's say this is 4 lanes. This person's going to see you out of the corner of their eye, suddenly 2 feet this way towards their car. They might jerk their car out of a reflex to the right and run into another car over here, and then suddenly you've caused an accident out of fear, not because you're actually going to hit that car, but because you scared the crap out of that person. I did this to my own mother, you guys. It was her first time driving my car just a month ago, and it was dark out, and I was on a highway in the country, actually, not on the freeway, and we're going around a curve at night, and I didn't think about telling her this, and so I was like, don't worry, just let me take care of it. So I engaged autopilot. I was in the passenger seat. The car started going towards an oncoming truck. She thought my car was just going to run into that truck head-on collision. It wasn't. It was just finding the center of our lane because my mom was severely hugging the shoulder. It was terrifying. Mom, I'm so sorry. I didn't think about that. Scared the crap out of her. She took over, disengaged autopilot. It was terrible. Number 2, do not drive in, I don't want to say construction areas, because if you're on a straight path and there's, construction cones or whatever, that's fine. The problem that I have found with construction zones is if you're driving somewhere that a lane used to be a certain way and now the lane is going a different way. For example, I was on the freeway going around this curve like this. There's 3 lanes here. This is what the road used to be like. Then they ended up making an exit going like this right in the middle of the turn. They also expanded this freeway. So it actually used to go like this, but now there is another lane here. So I've got old paint, old lines from the previous lanes and new lines, and they are still brilliant white and yellow. So my Tesla was in autopilot in this lane here. There's cars here, okay, in these lanes. I know this is really sloppy, you guys, but there was an old line right here, and there was this exit, which was new. This is new. This lane is new. My car freaked out, saw this previous line coming this way, and almost ran into this car right here because my car was following this previous lane. It was not staying in the new lane like this. 70 miles per hour. My daughter was in the car with me. Don't drive where there is clear, visible, old lines from old previous lanes going across like this. It can run you into the traffic that's next to you because your car needs clear, visible lines. If there's multiple lines going on, it gets confused. It doesn't know which line to follow. Number 3, when you're driving on the freeway, even though everything's perfect, there's no construction, beautiful sunny day, nothing should happen, right? The car in front of you is not paying attention and they run over an object in the freeway. This happens all the time. Pieces of tires, bed frames, kids' toys that have fallen off moving trucks. The list goes on. I almost ran over a staircase. A staircase. We're talking 2x4s making up stairs that, what the heck? It's just in the middle of the freaking freeway. If you're in autopilot, you're chilling, right? Listening to your music, talking to people in the car. The person in front of you hits that object because they're playing on their phone or whatever. Your car is going to hit that object. Tesla Autopilot, from my own experience, only detects cones, lanes, speed limit signs, and other vehicles. It will not detect objects in the road. It will hit them. So, there's that. I ran over a kid's toy. I ran over a mattress frame. I ran over an arbor that you can see that right there on my house. I ran over one of those. You need to be paying attention at all times. Never, ever look away from the road. Ever. Number 4, I have every single safety setting set on my car. Keeps you in the lines when you're driving in your lane. This is not just autopilot, it's just basic safety functions. It alerts me if there is a possible accident. It alerts me if the car in front of me slams on the brakes or the car in front of that car slams on their brakes. However, I have had many instances daily where I'm driving in my lane on autopilot. Let's just make it simple. Let's just make it two lanes, but it's a one-way road, okay? And there's a car here, and I'm right here in the middle of my lane. This freaking idiot over here, I've been there, I'm an idiot too, playing on their phone, but they don't have autopilot. And they start slowly coming into my lane, okay? They start veering over. This literally happens every freaking day to me on the freeway. Every day. I see this car next to me, usually on my right, because I usually drive in the fast lane. They start coming over into my lane. Okay? I've gotten in a fight with my autopilot 3 times. Autopilot won every single time. What happens is, because I have my safety settings where my car won't let me veer out of my lane, because it wants me to stay in my lane, right? This car is coming over, and I try to turn my wheel while it's in autopilot. I don't disengage autopilot. I just try to turn my wheel. Like, oh crap, this person's about to come in my lane and run into me because they're playing on their phone or whatever. So I try to turn my wheel this way. My car says nope, and it turns my wheel back, says don't you leave your lane. So then I try to turn it harder. Disengage autopilot, for God's sake. Sometimes it disengages immediately. Sometimes it doesn't, and it keeps me in my lane. I'm not sure if this is because of my safety setting that keeps me in my lane that has nothing to do with autopilot, or if it's because it's not disengaging autopilot. I don't know. The safety feature that I'm talking about with lane assist is under autopilot. And it is under lane departure avoidance. And I keep mine on assist. Lane departure avoidance will warn or assist with corrective steering when your vehicle starts to drift out of the lane without a turn signal. Whether you use the safety feature or not, you must always pay attention and maintain control because it cannot prevent every lane departure. The first time that this happened, I looked, there wasn't a car next to me. But there was a car on my right side there coming into my lane. I tried to disengage autopilot by turning like this. It wouldn't let me go over. It threw me back into the middle of my lane, even though this person was still coming into my lane. They're over the line now about 6 inches. So I grabbed my wheel again. I'm pissed off. God darn it, car. Disengage autopilot and get away from this car. They're coming into my lane. Another car at that moment was passing. And when I went like this the second time, I almost ran into that car to the left of me. So what I'm meaning right here is, if you're driving and this idiot starts coming over into your lane, or an idiot over here starts coming into your lane, you need to immediately lift up on the stalk. Lift up on your stalk like you're supposed to disengage autopilot, immediately take over, and get away from that person. Also, personally for me, my car has never warned me that that car is about to run into the side of me. Never. No audible stuff, no visual stuff. It doesn't detect that that car is coming closer to me. If the car in front of me slows down and I could run into them, my car starts beeping and flashing and, hey, slow down, they're about to get in a wreck. But if it's going to happen from the side, my personal experience is my car doesn't do anything. So be paying attention to these people on either side of you that are coming into your lane slowly because they're playing on their phone and they're just veering like this, Number 5. I am an idiot, okay? I have seen other people make autopilot videos where they're doing all kinds of stupid crap in the car. Car's going along fine. I was on a very long trip one day, over an hour. I had a water bottle in the back seat of my car. I was by myself in the car using autopilot, not really any traffic around. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to leave it on autopilot. There's no traffic around. I'm going to turn around like this, okay? And I'm going to grab the water bottle that's in the back seat. I couldn't reach it. So then I decided that I was going to put my foot on the dead pedal so I didn't hit the brake or the gas, and lean back further and try to get that water bottle because I was really thirsty and dehydrated, and I wasn't going to pull over because I was on the freeway for the long haul. My hip hit the steering wheel. I heard the sound on my screen. Dink, ding, ding, whatever. Your autopilot is disengaged. My car, when I went like this on the bottom of the steering wheel, it, turns my wheel to the left. I almost ran into the side of the freeway, the median. Almost killed myself trying to get a water bottle. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't turn around in your seat while you're doing 70 miles per hour on the freeway. Anything could happen. As soon as your autopilot is disengaged for any reason, it is immediately disengaged. So 1 second of your car veering this way at 75 miles per hour, you're going to wreck your car. And anybody around you is also going to be in the accident. Thank God I did not kill myself. Number 6, ghost braking. This is a real thing. If you don't know what ghost braking is, it's where you're in autopilot, you're driving down the freeway, and all of a sudden, your car slams on the brakes. I had this happen the very first time that I engaged autopilot. I was driving home from work, and the road was lit up, beautiful and sunny, but there was an overpass from another freeway on top of me. So basically, like, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so you see how this part of my paper is lit up from the sun, and then here's an overcast from the freeway going over the top of me. My car saw this big black block across the road, which was a shadow. Extreme contrast between sunlight and a very dark shadow from the freeway. My car slammed on the brakes doing 70 miles per hour. Scared the shiitake mushrooms out of me. Scared me to death. I didn't know what happened. It's the first time using autopilot. It never happened again with shadows. I think my car got used to it. It hasn't happened again. I've driven in the same circumstances. However, other times that I have found that ghost braking happens. One instance, and I feel like they are fixing this around the freeways of Houston, but when you're driving on the freeway, the speed limit sign that says 65 miles per hour for Houston anyway is white. You're driving down the freeway, la-di-da-di-da, and there is an exit off the beltway, the tollway. Your speed limit for the freeway is 65 miles per hour. The exit speed limit for the exit here to pay the tolls, there's a little toll booth, whatever, 35 miles per hour. It's also white. It's also on the side of the freeway. So your car is driving. Your car says, okay, we're doing 5 miles per hour over speed limit, 70 miles per hour, and a 65. You have it set to where when it sees a different speed limit, your car automatically adjusts to the new speed limit. And your autopilot sees this speed limit sign for the exit, which is 35 miles per hour. Your car says, holy crap, we're speeding extremely fast. We don't want a ticket. Let me just save my owner and slow down. Let's slow down to 35 miles per hour. With 75 mile per hour traffic behind you, probably playing on their phone, not using autopilot because they have other cars. So your car slams on the brakes. Another instance. Now, I will say with that, I have noticed that they started, for one thing, the exit speed limit signs along the beltway around Houston. I don't know about the rest of the world. They're changing them to be yellow. So the exit speed limit sign is now yellow, and the speed limit sign for the freeway is white. So the car doesn't care about that anymore. For me, that I've noticed when it's yellow. Another thing that I've seen them start doing is they put the exit speed limit yellow sign on the actual exit ramp, not on the side of the freeway in the exact same spots as the freeway speed. So that has dramatically helped. I haven't had any more ghost braking with that new construction that they've done. So they fixed one problem. It's the only positive thing I found about the construction around Houston, aside from having more lanes. Another problem with ghost braking that I have found. You're on the freeway, here's all the lanes, okay. And here's the on-ramp for the freeway. These cars are coming this way, and they're merging. Sometimes it freaks out. Whether it freaks out here, or here, or here, your car might slam on the brakes because it's very confused by this merging area, the traffic, the wideness of this lane here. Suddenly your car gets confused. Your car will start trying to find the middle of this lane, and this lane is like the width of 2 lanes because you have a merge happening. So your car might veer suddenly this way or veer suddenly this way in this big wide space right here. So for me, the safest place to use autopilot is the fast lane. You have this concrete barrier here. You don't have to worry about exit speed limit signs. You don't have to worry about merging. You don't have to worry about exiting. I started only using autopilot in the fast lane. I will use it in the other lanes, but I typically always stay in the fast lane. I just feel like that is the safest place to be using autopilot. Number 7. When using autopilot, the basic autopilot that comes with the car, it will pretty much drive anywhere that there are visible lines for the shoulder and the lane, and that the speed limit is 40 miles per hour and up. So your car will drive on city streets. It will drive through stoplights. It will detect the car in front of you and slow down for traffic. However, it will show straight lights on your screen, okay? And if the car in front of you stops for a red light, your car will stop behind them in the 40-mile-per-hour zone at a stoplight simply because the vehicle in front of you has stopped. It is detecting that vehicle. It is not detecting the red light. Your car is not going to stop for a red light if you're the first person in line. If there's no car in front of you stopped, your car doesn't care that there is a red light, and it will go right through it. So this may confuse new users. Don't expect this thing to stop at lights for you. Number 8, make sure that you disengage autopilot correctly by lifting up on the stalk one time and then taking over. It will typically go out of autopilot if you step on the accelerator, if you step on the brake, if you turn the wheel. It should. But I have found that 1 second difference, it could be life or death. I could be wrong, but I've found that the quickest and most efficient way and safest way to disengage is lift up on the stalk and then take over. I always keep one hand on the steering wheel so that I'm ready and paying attention. Another thing is with your buttons here, the screen will flash you once every minute or so, hey, apply pressure to the steering wheel. If you scroll up on your volume button a little bit, or you scroll up or down on your speed limit scroll button a little bit, or if you turn the wheel a little bit, all these things will work to let it know you're paying attention. But the best and proper way is to just put a tiny bit of pressure like this on the wheel in a turning motion. And if you're ignoring that for any reason, it will bring the car to a complete stop in the middle of the freeway. 2 millimeters will do it. If you turn this a whole half an inch, it's going to disengage autopilot, and you'll hear the beep over here, and it will, basically meaning that you've turned it too much and you've basically taken it out of autopilot. It's a slow down stop. It's not like an abrupt hit the brakes kind of thing. I feel like this is the most important video that I have ever done so far. I hope that everyone enjoyed this video. I know it was super long, but these things are really, really important, and I couldn't make this video any shorter. I had to hurry up and tell everyone as quick as possible, hey, all you new Tesla owners, I know you're playing with autopilot. You're going to be playing with autopilot. For God's sake, don't make these mistakes. If you like this video, please like it. And if you want to see more videos about my Tesla, please subscribe. I appreciate y'all subscribing so much. And I hope everyone has a safe and good week. And I will see you next time.